Hello there and welcome to the launch of the GhanaWeb Excellence Awards Youth Edition. My name is Ismail Akwe, the Editor-in-Chief of Africa Web. It's that time of the year again. Last year, you, the audience of GhanaWeb, nominated several personalities in various sectors for various categories of the GhanaWeb Excellence Awards. In its second year running, the GhanaWeb Excellence Awards focuses on the youth of Ghana and is going to be run under the theme, The Future is Now. This is your time, this is our time. We have two important personalities who are on standby to help us unveil the categories. Eche Atisu, the host of The Untold on GhanaWeb TV. Na Oyokote, the host of Bestech on GhanaWeb TV. The pair was integral in the event last year and they are here to do it again. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Thank you very much, Ismail Akwe. Eche, what's up?
We're back again.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. And it seems like a year is already caught up with us already.
That's right.
That seemed like a short time. And last year, I had the honors of hosting the maiden event at the Accra City Hotel in December of 2021. And you did the
unveiling of the nominees.
Wonderful. And this year, we are giving something more refreshing for you, our readers and our audience. And this year's theme is for the youth. That is why it's a youth edition. And last year what we did was that we had 17 personalities who were awarded after you, our readers, nominated over 100 people in various categories. And also we had some special awards that we gave to some other personalities who we thought had an amazing work for this country. Let's give you a gist of how all of that went down last year.
Started GhanaWeb about 23 years ago. On the 1st of January 2022 it will be 23 years. Well, initially it was just me, but thanks to the support of many people patronizing the website, we have grown a lot, really. I think everybody. Now on this occasion we do something different. We let use our audience to highlight people who have made a difference in Ghana in the past year. So this is what the awards are all about.
GhanaWeb Report is about democratizing journalism. So everyone in Ghana can become a reporter. What Rob has made, because Rob is looking to his screen always every day, that's why he's wearing glasses. He was thinking of some magic so that you get features that everybody with a phone in his hand can make a report on something he experiences. So Father Campbell told me about his beautiful projects for the lepra people, for the street kids. Why don't we make something like GhanaWeb.com/reporter/charity, and we make you owner of that part, of the lepra people, the street kids, and that everybody can donate there, and we can read to your stories and see what you're doing, because it's good that people take care of the community.
In the spirit of transparency, is unveiling the plaques.
So we have some beautiful plaques here that will be going home with our nominees and those who are going to win the GhanaWeb Excellence Awards that we have. And it's time to unveil them so you see how they look like.
The hand claps. So there they are. Father Andrew Campbell for winning Humanitarian Award. Another well-deserved award.
So the Peace and Diplomacy Special Award goes out to Dr. Vladimir Danso.
The winner of this award is Bright Yao Roger.
Congratulations, Bright. Celebrity painter.
Women Empowerment Award.
Come and empower us, Stacy.
With your beautiful dress,
Empower
you should be
us.
longer on the stage than I.
Thank you.
Take it here.
Thank you very much, Stacy. Thank you, Mark.
Because it goes to one very special person, Professor Stephen Adai.
Your advocate for good governance is Bishop Samuel Noy Mensah.
Now, surprise, shock, and gratitude. These were the emotions expressed by winners to GhanaWeb readers for the recognition when they received their awards. Here is a video of some of them.
Yes, I've been in this job for about 33 years. I've taught thousands of students from all over the world. Yes, I think some of them are waving. Military people all over the world, Canada, Rwanda. I still have from 28 African countries where I'm teaching. And I think I've contributed enough to peace and diplomacy. And I thank you for recognizing me. It goes to everybody else who loves peace and security in this world. It's very important. We're joking with it, and I believe we've got to realize it.
Let me quote myself on two occasions. One, leadership is cause. Everything else is effect. The second one is that the most powerful leaders who leave legacy combine character, competence, and care for other people like Father Campbell. Thank you.
For me, this goes to all the other women who were in this category, especially Ohineyire Gifty Auntie, who is a big sister to me, who keeps pushing me to be unstoppable. So to every woman here, if we are all able to empower a woman, trust me, we are going to empower the globe.
I will use this opportunity to thank GhanaWeb as a whole and the organizers for this award. They've really done well. And this shows I need to do more. My name is Bright, but officially known as the Celebrity Painter, Ghana. Thank you.
I don't know what to say. Just to say thank you very much for honoring me. A blessing, a real blessing, serving Ghana and serving all the needy and poor people. I feel blessed and honored. Thank you.
In the next 2024 and beyond, the next decade will emerge young men and women who will not be 80 years and 90 years to run their country, but young men and women who will turn the clock of Africa around through quality leadership. And that is what we stand for, and that's what we believe in.
So, Influential Man Award and Media Development Award. So to those of you who nominated me, to those of you who voted for me, thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. And to the guys at GhanaWeb, well, I'm not always your friend, but thank you. Thank you very much.
Say a big thank you to the organizers, GhanaWeb. I mean, GhanaWeb is one of the strong online portals that when we're all coming up, we'll go there to read stories and all that. So for them to start this maiden edition of their award scheme, and me getting the best influencer or the most influential blogger. I think that I'm super humble. God bless them.
I was actually very surprised when I got the message from you guys.
Right.
Because my name has always been confused.
With a businessman, right?
No, but it's good actually because I think, for a long time, in terms of looking at the creative arts sector and all that, I've always thought that the infrastructure has been very limited.
Right.
So at least as artists, we should take responsibility for somehow shifting the narrative,
right,
which can go a long way to empower a lot more other generations which are yet to come. And also maybe, somehow put limelight on the older generation also.
Right.
So I think this also goes a long way to somehow restore faith in the significance of the work that we do.
I have to say that GhanaWeb is a true representation of the youth. They soar higher, they never idle. They wobble into the sky's feather as they tame hearts forever with the soothing melodies ever from a flute of a nightingale, constantly changing notes that sends hearts to solace. GhanaWeb, your personality is still evolving. Your tenacity cannot be mistaken for revolutionarism. GhanaWeb, awo iyo kora efa sa efitre oman. Send them who come up from a champion to trouble in coupon. GhanaWeb, you train your staff on about the thick clouds. Clouds that define progress, growth, excellence, and true professionalism.
Oyo, you know what's happening this year?
No, tell me.
Well, we have 16 categories. We want to honor and celebrate 16 young personalities who are doing amazingly well in their various fields of endeavor.
But to qualify for the awards, you or the person you nominate must be between the ages of 15 and 35. Now let's take a look at the categories for this year's awards.
Alright, so the first category for this year's GhanaWeb Excellence Awards, the Youth Edition, is the GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Agriculture. And in this category, we're looking for successful youth entrepreneurs engaged in agriculture and agro-business.
Next is the GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Information Technology. Exemplary youth working in the digital space qualify for nominations in this category. Eche?
This is one of those categories that I think a lot of young people should be interested in. And because I know there are a lot of amazing things that young people are doing in IT for that matter. And so I hope to see a lot of nominations coming through.
And I must say, IT is the ish.
Like, yeah, it is. I mean, that's where
it's a big thing now.
That's where the cash is. I know you love the sound of cash.
I know, right?
On to the next category is the GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Sports. Now, in this category, we're looking for talented youth who are excelling in any competitive sports, be it football, athletics, boxing, hockey, and the likes. I think a lot of these young guys who are, especially for the sporting season we are in, especially for Ghana, football, Black Stars, they're amazing guys that I think will fit in here. Not the days, they are old now.
I'd also like to add our new coach, Otuado. I think he's bringing some excitement in sports. I mean, sports doesn't necessarily mean football, but I think that's a thing for Ghanaian youth. So I think, yeah. We are doing great.
It's up to our readers and our listeners right now.
The next category is GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Women Advocacy. Impactful youth promoting women's empowerment and rights. Now, both men and women qualify for nominations in this category. Eche, we have women advocacy.
Yes, one of those. You know, earlier we had a conversation about how there are a lot of men doing women advocacy, men like myself.
Yes, feminists, you know. At first it was weird to have men feminists, but even our boss is a feminist.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Our big boss.
Our big boss is a feminist.
On to the next category is the GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Fashion. Now in this category, you can nominate any influential youth excelling in the fashion industry to be awarded.
Next, we have the GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Music, Drama and Dance. Now in this category, we have talented youth excelling in the music, drama and dance industry. I really want to nominate
favorites.
Myself.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
I can do some small boogie. Yeah. Let me see.
Like
exactly.
Okay. But there are a lot of names. We're not mentioning names just to lead people on, but I think the likes of Dance God, Afronita, I mean, they're all from the same.
And they're not doing it for themselves. No. They are really bringing in the youth to appreciate dance more.
And a lot of music these days comes with some unique kinds of dancing. So this is it for us. Nominate your favorites. Let's move on to the next one. Is the GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Media and Communication. Now in this category, we are looking for people who have been impacting the youth sector in the media and communication industry.
GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Health. Distinguished youth promoting lives in the healthcare industry. Notes that for this category, doctors, nurses, non-professional healthcare workers, or even advocates of health issues can be nominated. So pick your favorites and nominate.
On to the next one is the GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Education. Now in this category, we're looking for inspirational youth who are engaged in teaching and education advocacy. And also take notes that just like in the health category, both teaching and non-teaching staff also are eligible for this award.
Now we move on to the GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Leadership. Inspirational youth showing commitment to development in society, organization, or any institution can be nominated for this category.
Another one of those categories that I think that a lot of young people are really showing that they truly are deserving of leadership. Many young people are coming out to show what they can do in leading this country and other aspects of life and give us some hope that their future is not bleak as it seems.
The future is now, and the proactiveness as well as boldness is showing everywhere.
That's it. That takes us to the next category, which is the GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Entrepreneurship. Now in this category, we're looking for successful youth entrepreneurs running a scalable business. Anyone who started a business, something that is innovative, small business on the side that you think is eligible for this category, go ahead and nominate them.
GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Science and Engineering. Exemplary youth playing an active role in science and engineering qualify for this category. Actually, we have a lot of youth I think would be in or may be in this category.
STEM, which has become a big thing now. Many young people, and I'm particularly happy for the fact that many young women are also taking interest in this area.
It's a proud moment for women.
So go you, go you, go you. Let's go on to the next category now. Is the GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Visual Arts. Now in this category, we are looking for talented youth in painting, digital art, design, sculptures, etc. So if you know any such person, this is the time to appreciate them and have them celebrated.
On to the next category, GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Diaspora. This category is for inspirational youth in the diaspora promoting Ghana's culture.
I know you want to go have a take on this one because I know what the interest you have in this.
Exactly. I'm really proud that a lot of indigenous are coming back home, especially the young ones. Like you said earlier, we have a lot of old people. In those days, people didn't really want to come home. But now I think people are more open-minded. They're like, no, look, we have to make our country great. We have to be exemplary for those also here.
And so I think that we can also give some kudos to the government for the year of return.
Exactly.
Which brought back a lot of people into the country.
More jobs, like
and
we are
more
crying
money.
for. Yeah.
Let's look at the next category now. Is the GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Peace and Diplomacy. Now in this category, we are looking for impactful youth who are advocating for peace in Ghana.
GhanaWeb Youth Excellence in Innovation. Successful youth demonstrating innovative ideas, products, or services qualify for nominations in this category. This category is also an interesting one because, of course, like you said, the youth are always striving for change and they are doing something better to make their lives better.
Can you imagine Kenke on wheels?
You know,
Kenke having wheels.
Even Gobe
Gobe
has post right now.
Gobe, almighty Gobe. Well, that brings us to the end of the main 16 categories for this year's Excellence Awards. But we have another category which you can call the 17th category, and is the GhanaWeb Youth Excellence Award. Now for this category, there will not be the need for you to nominate anyone. The organizers will take charge of this category where they will present an award to a distinguished youth organization. So once again, no need for nominations for this particular category.
Now, many young people are doing amazing things in their various fields, but they only stand a chance of winning if you nominate them.
Let's find out how you can nominate your favorites for the GhanaWeb Excellence Awards Youth Edition.
Visit www.GhanaWebExcellenceAwards.com and click the nominations bar or click the nomination banner on www.GhanaWeb.com. Provide your personal details by entering your first and last names. Fill in your contact details, in essence, phone number and email address. Select the appropriate category out of 16 options for your preferred nominee. Provide the personal details of your preferred nominee. Provide at least one or more social media handles of your preferred nominee. Tell us why your nominee qualifies for the selected category and then proceed. You receive a pop-up with, "Would you like to make another nomination?" If yes, click yes and go through the same process of nominating another person. If no, click no and you are done nominating your preferred person. Remember, your nominee must be between the ages of 15 and 35.
So, for the launch and opening of nominations, I welcome Editor-in-Chief of AfricaWeb, Ismail Akwe.
There you have it. You've seen the categories and also the nomination process. I do hereby declare the GhanaWeb Excellence Awards Youth Edition launched. And also, I declare the nomination open. It was a fun ride.
It was.
And I think all of you qualify. And
all of us we do. Yeah, exactly.
I'm wondering which category Oyo is going to be in.
The dance.
The dance?
Yeah, I like
that. I can put my money on it that you will not win anything.
Trust me, I can also put my money on it and make sure I win.
Hey, okay. This is money.
You know, the future is now and we are all part of the future.
Of course we are.
The future is now and we are the future.
So that's it from us here from the CJ TV studio in Accra. My name is Eche Atisu. I'm the host of The Untold on GhanaWeb TV.
And my name is Ismail Akwe. I'm also the host of The Lowdown on GhanaWeb TV and the Editor-in-Chief of AfricaWeb.
And I am Na Oyokwoti, host of Bistec on GhanaWeb TV.
So that's it. Nominations are open. Best wishes to all the nominees.
Remember, the future is now.
Previously on People and Places.
This the highest peak on the Mogo Hill. Part of the hill, but it was chopped off in the early 1960s.
Okay.
By the first president of Ghana, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. So we have 3 species.
Okay.
We have the cops. These ones are cops. We have bushbacks and dikers. So they practice the system of polygamy, where one male to a lot of females, and it depends on the structure of the male. We have the olive baboon and then the leather spot nose monkey.
Those were a few highlights. Now, the adventure continues. Stay with us and enjoy. So thank you for staying with us. This is still People and Places. We are still at the Shai Hills Resource Reserve. Now we continue our tour with Ishmael, and as a stunt, we are at the Sayu Hills. This place has another unique story, and we'll get right to it. So what do we have here?
Yeah, so the Sayu Cave was once the tribal chief palace of the Shai.
Okay.
So when I say tribal, 4 tribes that lived here, occupying around the various caves, mostly, basically from Manya, Ajuku, Hiwoyo, and then the Sayu.
Okay.
So the tribal chief was residing in the cave. Now,
the tribal chief was the chief of all the 4 tribes.
All the 4 tribes.
Okay.
Now it's believed that they are living now in Kodiabe, close to the reserve, about 5 kilometers drive
From
west
here.
side.
Oh,
of the
okay.
reserve.
So they moved from here.
They moved
and
from
settled
here.
there.
Yes, please. But history has it all that one can only visit the king or the chief when there is a leaf like this, a leaflet on your lip.
Okay.
In that way, when they see the leaflet on your lip, you will not be harmed. And then they believe that you know their customs and traditions.
Oh.
And then you are coming in with right motive and peace. And then the last of it all, which is key for them, was that when they see the leaf on your lip, it tells that whatever you see here is a hidden truth that you will not go and expose or tell anyone. And hence you'll be allowed to enter the cave.
The cave.
Interestingly, the cave has only one main entrance.
Oh, okay.
Aside the main entrance, there's no other place that one can pass to the cave.
Before you go into the chambers, who discovered this place?
I think they just walked and then they stayed here.
Oh, okay.
But the history tells that they were once hunter-gatherers who lived here, but their history is not known. So the Shaibu came in and drove them away and then took the
their
place.
place. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. We'll learn more about it as we see the place.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is the main entrance to the cave, where they go with their back. The
They
leaf,
go with their back.
yes, the leaf will be on your lip. Then you go with your back. The focus was war-minded people. You know, they were like people who can easily come in and take the place from them, since they also took it from others.
Somebody else. Okay.
So their focus is, as you go, you watch around, even though the warriors were here on top, but you watch around to see if people are coming. You scream for help or you shout so that the warriors can come in and defend.
Oh, okay.
So they cross here with their back. And
And
aside this place, there's no other place that one can pass through to the cave.
So this is the main
entrance.
entrance.
To the cave.
Right. Is that the same routine they follow when they come?
Yeah, in the
now?
olden days. No, now it is abolished. We don't go with our back. We don't have the leaves on our legs.
So they just come like normal to tour the place. They don't do any rides.
Well, so yeah, so what we have realized is, you know, the transferring of the knowledge from one generation to the other sometimes spoils the trend. So for them, some of them don't even know as to
what it was,
what they are supposed to do, but others also know. So some does it generally when they come. Some also don't know the significance of doing those things.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But when tourists comes here, we just tell them, but we tell them
and
they
then they
are
go
abolished.
in like normal. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
And as we go, we will smell different scent from the bat guano.
Bat what?
Guano, that is the fecal content of the bat.
This is how the front part of the cave looks like. We are going to take this road or this path and move to the very first chamber. And as we go, we'll talk.
So you see the guano, the fecal content of the bats.
Oh, okay.
They are a good source of fertilizer.
I see.
So what happens is that these are insect-eating bats.
Okay.
So they are very active in the night. They come out to peck the sleeping insects. So their activity also attracts the insects in the daytime because the scent attracts them. Then they feed on them.
Oh,
and these bats in ecology, they are called keystone species. That is species which are very delicate, and their absence from the ecosystem, the whole system, can break the ecosystem.
How?
Because insects are the most ubiquitous species of animals in the world. And so when I say ubiquitous, they are everywhere, and they are millions, trillions. So in order for this species to be regulated, they need
someone that will feed on them.
some others to feed on. So bats is one of them, and then pangolins.
Okay.
They feed on these insects to regulate their population so that they will not, exceed and break everything.
Okay.
So they are very unique and important. The fruit-eating bat at 37.2, they also help in what?
Regulating.
They help in dispersal of seeds, and hence germination as well. So bats are very unique.
Sure. So what you're telling me in effect is that now all 3 caves have been taken over by bats?
No, this cave has a lot of the bats, but the other caves, they have very few bat species because those 3 caves cannot be compared to this huge one. They are very small in sizes.
Oh, okay. But this is the first cave.
This
first chamber.
The first chamber. We are ending at the first chamber, and then this is the second chamber.
Oh, okay. So where we moved from
is the first chamber to this place.
Right.
And then the second chamber ends here. This whole place is second chamber.
Oh. Okay.
And then the third chamber goes through the small hole. It goes to left.
So the second chamber has most of the bats, or the first?
The third chamber.
The third.
Yeah, the third chamber has. But then they move to the first chamber in the night to peck sleeping insects. So this is how the whole settings was like. In the olden days, they covered this whole place with boulders. And then there was small entrance
for
people. Yeah, where the king, because here was for the king.
Okay.
And you see the ficus plant, these ones are called Ficus abutifolia. On top you can see some of the plant there.
Okay.
So it develops all this way. And then they use it as a way to climb, as a spy point up.
Oh, yeah.
So when they are up there, and then they see people coming to attack them, they decline and pack themselves behind the packed stones. When they come, when they come and they can scare them with that, then they pull or push the stones on them. But then we cut them. Some of the roots got collapsed, and others too were very weak. And students, when they come, a lot of them want to climb at the same time. So we just avoided the climbers. And then we replace this with a ladder. So in case you want to go to the spy point, somehow scary, but you can actually do it.
Okay.
And so this ends the conversation with the first chamber.
All right.
The second chamber also has the stool of the chief, which is this one. So the natural stone that he sits on. So here is just like an assembly ground for the king. You can sit on maybe as the queen mother of Kodiabe.
Okay.
And then there we can, after sitting on, we can go to the third chamber.
This is too high for me.
Oh, so let me show you how you. One hand of yours will be here, the other one will be here. So this one, 10.
Like that?
Take off your phone. It can crack. Then, how is it? It's not comfortable.
Yep.
So
this is me on the natural stool, which is actually a rock of the then Kodiabe.
The tribal chief.
Tribal chief. Okay. These bats, are they harmful to humans?
They are not, but you know, bats have a lot of viral infections or pathogens. So, but they are not harmful to humans. They cannot beat you, they cannot peck on you. But when you are closer to them, you need to be careful with the way you touch them. Because they are wild.
Yeah.
Anything is possible to happen. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see the very difficult third chamber, of which. So this is how we do it. Just touch the rock and then come slowly. But then, so there were no bats here when the shy people were here.
Oh, okay. Because there were humans here.
Yeah, and then there were activities like burning and making noise when they left here, and then the bats occupied. You can see from here. So that's the third chamber. It goes deep.
Oh.
Hope you can see there. A lot of them.
Okay. That's how you call them?
Yeah, sometimes you just make a little noise.
To stir them up. Wow.
And hence the name Bat Cave, because the place houses like millions of bats. We can actually enter, but you know it's full of guano. You can step in and it will be all over you.
I think we are fine here. Yeah, we can see the bats from here, so that's fine. But you never know. I mean, if you are more adventurous than I am and you come here, you can choose to go with Ishmael or anyone else who will take you around into the bat cave.
Okay, so we can still go and climb to the
top.
It's like the Mogo Hill, the view.
Okay.
But it's a very small area.
Right.
And a little bit scarier than the Mogo Hill.
Oh, okay.
Powers and principalities.
There's so much fire inside me.
Tragedy struck when part of the largest hillside at the kosher rubbish dump collapsed.
It's going to be fun to see how he goes about approaching this game.
Now, let's learn something interesting about Ghana.
The Ghanaian currency, cedi, was coined from the Akan word "cedie," which means cowries.
So, let me just warn you, for people who are like me, you need to eat well before you come here because it takes a lot of energy to do this.
So when you get here, this is how you position your
Okay.
So your right foot should be on the ficus root here. Then your left foot should be here.
Okay.
Then you hook, look at your hands here. Then you lift yourself.
What? People, if you don't have Vim, you can watch your friends do it from afar.
I hope you saw how I did it. No,
like that. Like this. Then I hold this.
Yeah.
Then here.
Yeah.
Oh. We are going to the top of the hill. Okay, so this hill is higher than the Mogo Hill.
You can see the Mogo Hill from here.
Oh, that's it.
And so here is the aspire point where the warriors sit in the olden days. Just to
guard
check
the
around.
place. Wow, this is a very good point.
But very difficult to get here.
Definitely. I'm sure it was also strategic because before the enemy comes here.
Yeah, then they know because they can see afar.
Yeah.
So they can better plan off. And there were the trees were very few, especially there was no neem tree. So you could see far than this. Neem
So
trees were
this entire
introduced.
place was clear.
Yes, it was clear.
So it was just vast land. Wow. Guys, it's difficult to get here, but if you're able to make it, I think it's worth it because the view is really, really cool. It's really cool. You can actually see, like he said, the Mogo Hill, which looks a lot smaller from here. So this is like a step higher. You should try this sometime. So that's the Sai story, right?
Yes, yes.
Right. And so, where are we going to next?
So from here, we'll go to the Depot Rock. Then,
where they perform their final.
Yes, then we go to
puberty, right?
The farm, the animal farm.
The animal farm and then the museum.
Yes.
Okay, so let's get going. We are at the entrance to the Depot Rock. This is where the girls who used to camp at the Mogo Hills, this is where they come to complete their puberty rites. And after here, they can be qualified for marriage because they are seen to have gone through the puberty rites and have been successful. So Ishmael is taking us to see the place.
So you can actually see some broken pots, so, broken bottles all over here. So they mix it with the old drink, schnapp and others.
Oh.
They mix the water with it and then they use it to bath them. And you can see the grooves. So they pour the drink into the water. And you can see the grooves all over here. And this,
whatever they were doing there, they were doing here.
yes. Because of it not being used for a long period of time, that's why you see. But when you see the whole place is full up, and this water is always, it doesn't get dried. Oh. But we don't drain it for a long period of time, so many years.
What did they use this water for though?
So in those days, it was clean water where they bath the ladies, fetch it and bath the ladies with it. And then they put the beads, then the colorful things on them. So you can see here they just make it so like the grooves are more smaller in size. Yeah.
Because this is where they were making the items.
So after bathing them, then they grind and put it on them. And then they dance. The background is there.
Okay.
Where they dance for the final rite. But this water sustains for the whole of the year round, and it's always full. Because of the dry season, that is why you see it in this way. They sit on the stone, which they cover it with the skin of the antelope.
Is that it?
No, they took it away when they were sacked.
Okay.
And there are two indications. If you are a virgin, you get up easily. If you are not a virgin, you get stuck to the rock.
They took the rock away?
Yeah, so when they were sacked, they took the rock away.
Oh, wow. Well, it was something that could be moved?
Oh, yeah, it's very small rock because you can just always they cover it with the skin of the antelope.
Oh,
so they took it away. Yeah. But the main focus was to test whether the girls are really virgins or not.
Oh.
And in that way, if you are not a virgin, they perform some rite, and when you get up, you are banned or sacked from the tribe.
Oh, wow.
Or you join the people within the tribe that have the mark that they were not virgins, but you pass through the rites. And in that way, you will not be regarded as one of them. Be it giving birth, marrying, or dying, they will not regard you as, they regard you as an unclean person within their setting.
Okay.
And it also creates, it's a form of honor for the younger girls.
Join us in the next and final episode of the Shy Hills Adventure as we explore the animal farm, museum, and visit the home of the newest additions, the African pythons, all on People and Places.
I think that it is time for African countries. You know, some countries like Nigeria, my own country, have done this, gone to borrow and borrow and borrow, and we are now ashamed of borrowing. Many other countries in Africa have gone that. But we should also remember that he who goes a borrowing goes a sorrowing. And that component has been forgotten. Therefore, before you borrow, what are you borrowing for? What is the template for your borrowing? What do you want to do with that borrowing? Where is the investment? What will be the returns of that investment? How would you pay? All of these things ought to be marshaled out clearly for an endorsement. And I warn, any parliament in Africa that comes out to endorse go and borrow because they are involved, because some things will come into their pockets, woe unto such. The people of Ghana must come and bring this matter on the front burner and discuss it. There must be a transparent process, accountable process, popular participatory process where everybody, because it's the future of the people that you are toiling with. It's the future of the people that you want to mortgage. If you want to mortgage their future because they are the ones that will pay back, then involve them right from the beginning and let them agree with you.
As we are all aware, the teacher unions, after failing to get the attention of government to address their request to be paid the cost of living allowance, also known as COLA, have decided to embark on a nationwide strike. As we speak today, close to 7 million students from kindergarten through primary school to junior high school to secondary schools are currently not benefiting from teaching and learning. Clearly, this is as a result of the government's inability to meet its obligations and to be proactive in addressing the needs and demands of labor unions, including the teachers. We have seen a circular from the Ghana Education Service directing managers of schools to take control and to ensure the safety and security of students. Clearly, that cannot be enough if you consider that one head teacher alone cannot take care and secure the safety of an entire school. So we want to urge government to immediately address the concerns of the teachers so that they can go back to the classrooms without any further delay. If this goes on beyond 2 to 3 days, it will be advisable for the GES to direct that the schools be closed down for the safety and security of the students. But ultimately, government bears the responsibility of ensuring that the needful is done so that the teachers can go back to the classroom.
CEDEAO. Il se tient présentement la...
We are now in the opening ceremony of this session, and the contents are herewith. The opening statement by His Excellency Jean-Claude Cassibrou, President of the ECOWAS Commission, an opening address by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Chair of ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government and President of the Republic of Ghana. Statement by His Excellency Moussa Faki, President of the African Union Commission. Statement by His Excellency Mahamat Saleh Anadif, Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General for West Africa and the Sahel. This will be followed by a closed-door session. I have the honor now to invite His Excellency Mr. Jean-Claude Cassibrou, President of ECOWAS Commission, to deliver his statement.
Excellence, Monsieur Nana.
Your Excellency, Mr. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, Chair of ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, the mediator of ECOWAS, the Chair of the Presidential Task Force of the ECOWAS Free Movement, Honorable Commissioners, Honorable Ministers, the Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General for West Africa and Sahel, the President of UMWA Commission, Madam Vice President of ECOWAS Commission, Honorable ECOWAS Commissioners, the representatives of international organizations, diplomatic corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's for me a great honor and privilege to welcome you on behalf of all ECOWAS institutions to the 61st Ordinary Session of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS. I do thank the government and people of ECOWAS for all the measures taken, the warm welcome extended to the heads of government of ECOWAS region, as well as their delegations, as this has always been the case. Welcoming us to the Republic of Ghana, I would like to thank His Excellency Mr. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana and current Chair of ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government, for his leadership for strengthening regional integration in our region in the way the community is led. Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, permit me, against the backdrop of regional events in which your summit is being held, our region is still confronted by the challenges of terrorism and violent extremism, as a result of which our people have been threatened and attacked. These attacks target the frontline countries, namely Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Nigeria, as well as coastal countries, namely Côte d'Ivoire, Togo, and Benin. For the first half year of this year, we recorded more than 1,600 incidents with more than 3,500 deaths. In response to this situation, the implementation of the Regional Plan of Action Against Terrorism is ongoing alongside coordinated actions in the West African region as well as throughout the world. In the health area, we've noted a drop in COVID-19 contaminations, as a result of which land borders have been reopened. However, the low rate of vaccination of our people, which stands at 17%, still places us at a risk of the disease. We therefore remain vigilant and continue to strengthen our capacities in producing vaccines in the region. In the political sphere, our region remains strongly rooted in democracy, since 12 member states are steadily progressing towards the consolidation of their democratic process. However, the ongoing transition in Mali, in Guinea, and in Burkina is still continuing at diverse degrees, and it's with difficulty producing results despite the recent events. But we look to getting these countries back to normal. Combined with the devastating effect of climate as well as fertilizers, which all the member states need. In order to tackle this situation, the ECOWAS food reserve mechanism has been put in place in order to support contributions to member states that have presented requests. Food stocks are ongoing. Currently, we are working with member states to strengthen the performance of agricultural systems. These multidimensional crises, despite these multidimensional resilience, and there has been a slight growth, which is lower than the 4.8 that was expected. The effects of the ongoing crisis around the world can have effect on our region, especially also intra-regional integration efforts. Your Excellency, heads of state and government, the institutions and departments of ECOWAS have continued the implementation of their programs and projects in order to adoption of a regulatory and community text to ensure physical and cross-border infrastructural development. However, challenges continue.
Continue to work hard on the African Free Trade Liberalization Zone. Several forms of infrastructure, major transport infrastructure, have been put in place and are the subject of technical studies for implementation. In addition, in order to increase industrial production in our region, several value chains, several standards, and the ECO mark has been adopted. In addition, the new ECOWAS Vision 2050 was adopted. Excellencies, heads of states and government, the new statutory appointees for to 2023 appointees at the end of their tenure. I wish mission. We have tried to serve as best we can. Political instability have
Nous remercions son Excellence.
We thank His Excellency Jean-Claude Cassibrou for his opening remarks.
To invite His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana and Chair of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of States and Government, for his welcome address. Your Excellency, you may kindly make your welcome address from your seat.
Excellencies, heads of state and government of ECOWAS, members of the authority, Excellencies, ECOWAS mediators for Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso, the chairperson of the African Union Commission, the chairperson of the ECOWAS Council of Ministers, president of the ECOWAS Commission, president of the UEMOA Commission, ECOWAS commissioners, ministers of ECOWAS member countries, special representative of the Secretary General of the United Nations to West Africa and the Sahel, the head of MINUSMA, representatives of international and regional organizations, members of the diplomatic corps, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the people and governments of Ghana, please excuse me, it gives me great pleasure to extend to you the warm traditional Akwaba, a word of welcome to Accra, Ghana's vibrant capital. You're here to take part in the 61st Ordinary Session of the Conference of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government with its full agenda. I would like to thank you for your unwavering commitment to the development of our community, demonstrated by your presence at this important summit. Excellencies, this ordinary summit is taking place in a very challenging global context, characterized by the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic and the difficult security and political situation in our region and in the world, compounded by the adverse impact of the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine on our various economies and social sectors. We've noted the positive evolution of the COVID-19 pandemic worldwide and in our region. The decrease in the number of new cases has led us to relax the restrictive measures taken at the beginning of the crisis. This result has been obtained by our collective effort, both at the regional and national levels. I salute our regional solidarity in the management of this pandemic. It illustrates our organization's ability to unite our energies to face a significant common threat. However, we must continue to remain vigilant as COVID-19 is still around. Let me address on behalf of all of us our thanks to our esteemed colleague, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, who in his capacity as champion in the coordination of the fight against COVID-19 has spared no effort in this endeavor. Our region continues to be the target of indiscriminate and barbaric terrorist attacks, resulting in the loss of many innocent victims and the deterioration of the humanitarian situation in the targeted countries. These terrorist attacks are now not only focusing on the Sahel, but also expanding to the coastal states in our region. In memory of all the victims and their families, I invite us to observe a minute's silence in their honor. May their souls rest in perfect peace. Amen. Excellencies, faced with this constant terrorist threat, it is imperative for us to continue to implement our regional action plan against terrorism and to coordinate our various security initiatives. This will reinforce our collective response to this destabilizing threat. Our determination in this area must be stronger than ever. Equally unshaken must be our resolve to maintain the stability of our region and of its member states. Indeed, following the failed coup d'etat of 1st February 2022 in Guinea-Bissau and our emergency summit of 3rd February 2022, we decided to deploy an ECOWAS standby force to support the stability of the country and President Umbalo Sissoko's elected government. That deployment of 609 security personnel, composed of 150 Nigerian troops and 140 Nigerian police personnel, 150 Senegalese troops, 100 Ghanaian troops, and 51 troops from Côte d'Ivoire, with a force headquarters of 18 officers drawn from across the region under the overall command of a Nigerian general and force commander, has now been completed. We must be seen as ready to go the extra mile to ensure the stability of our community and of its member states. Excellencies, the global context, characterized by the impact of the Russia-Ukraine war, has led to a sharp increase in global prices, particularly of food and petroleum products. We are all victims of global inflationary pressures, which have exacerbated the food crisis in many parts of our region, instigated by the decline in production due to the impact of climate change. We can best tackle this crisis by working to enhance the performance of our agricultural sectors to reach self-sufficiency in the area of our food needs. As you recall, on 4th June 2022 at our extraordinary summit here in Accra, we discussed extensively the political and social situation in our region, with emphasis on the current political transition in Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso, emanating from the unfortunate coup d'etats in those countries. We decided to re-examine this matter during this ordinary summit. ECOWAS remains committed to accompanying these sister nations to return to normal constitutional democratic order. We'll have the opportunity to hear from our mediators, who will advise us on the latest development in these countries to enable us to take the appropriate decisions. Excellencies, as this is the first ordinary summit of the year 2022, we'll hear the report on the state of the community by the President of the Commission, as well as several reports on the operations of our community by our ministers in various areas, including the report by the Chairperson of the Council of Ministers on the administrative reforms that we'll be implementing at this summit. This is the end of the tenure of the members of the present Commission. On our behalf, let me thank all the statutory appointees for the work performed during the last 4 years in the very difficult environment that I have described. I would like to thank especially His Excellency Jean-Claude Cassibrou, President of the outgoing Commission, for his strong leadership during this turbulent period. I wish him and the others all the best in their future endeavors. We will also hear a report on the selection of the new commissioners of the Reformed Commission for the period 2022-2026, and designate at this summit ECOWAS champions in 2 fields of contemporary importance and relevance: climate change and the restoration of our cultural goods and artifacts from those who seize them from us. Excellencies, as you are aware, I will, at the end of this summit, conclude my tenure as chairman of the authority. It has been a great privilege for Ghana and myself to have been given the opportunity by you to serve this noble organization for 2 consecutive terms, particularly at one of the most trying periods of its history. I've benefited tremendously from the solidarity and empathy of your excellencies in the discharge of this difficult mandate that you have conferred on me, for which I am very grateful. Needless to say, I will continue to play my full part to my best of my ability in the work of the authority. I wish the summit fruitful deliberations. Accordingly, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to declare the 61st Ordinary Session of the Conference of the ECOWAS Assembly of Heads of State and Government duly open. And I thank you for your attention. Merci de votre aimable attention.
Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you for your attention.
We thank His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana and Chair of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of States and Government, for his welcome address. J'invite maintenant.
I now call on His Excellency Moussa Faki, President of the African Union Commission, to deliver his statement. Excellency, you may now make your statement from your seat. Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, Chairman of the Authority of Heads of State and Government, Excellencies, Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS, Excellencies, Heads of Delegations, the mediators of ECOWAS to Mali, Burkina Faso and Guinea, Excellency, the President of the ECOWAS Commission, Excellency, Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General for West Africa and the Sahel, Excellency, the Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General for MINUSMA, Excellency, President of the UMOA Commission, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests. We met here in Accra on the political situation in Mali, Guinea, and Burkina Faso. Once again, you give me the honor of inviting me as special guest to once again make a statement, giving me an opportunity to discuss with you the situation, the state of the community, and provide some solutions. I would like to thank His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, Chairman of the Authority of Heads of State, as well as the ECOWAS Commission, for the hospitality that we have enjoyed. Excellency, President, ladies and gentlemen, this new mobilization of West African member states around challenges and concerns of the moment is timely, and it falls in line with the African Union doctrine to find solutions, African solutions to African problems. It is now time for me to salute the leadership of ECOWAS, which continues to find a solution to these problems and a solution for Africa. As you continue to support political change in the region, and we urge you to continue to support constitutional change in the region. I'm also pleased with the democratic improvements in the region, as well as the text that your organization has developed, it will always be said that ECOWAS was a pioneer in Africa on this matter, as with many others. And the Africa that we want, a prosperous Africa, a peaceful and integrated Africa, cannot be possible without a strong ECOWAS. On the prospects of return to constitutional order, we continue to wait to hear the various solutions and consultations that have been ongoing with Mali and Burkina Faso. And I would like to congratulate all the stakeholders and urge them to continue in their work towards resolving the challenges. I would particularly like to commend the work of the ECOWAS mediators, His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan for Mali, His Excellency Mahamadou Issoufou for Burkina Faso, and His Excellency Ibn Chambas for Guinea. The African Union teams remain mobilized on their side to support a successful transition. In Mali, the adoption of the electoral law is an important step towards holding elections. I also commend all stakeholders for the outcome and urge them to continue dialogue towards resolving divergencies and ensuring success in the process, inclusiveness in the process. In Guinea, dialogue offered by the political parties in the transition is an opportunity to achieve a consensus, a Guinean consensus for major issues. We should not lose this opportunity. In Burkina Faso, the security challenges remain a dynamic issue in this country. It is therefore important to address this security challenge while achieving democratic and popular consensus. This solidarity cannot be achieved unless regional and international efforts are pooled. This mobilization is crucial to support national efforts aimed at satisfying the people's vital needs. The people are in a situation of insecurity and humanitarian disasters, particularly affecting women, children, and displaced persons. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we have just launched, under the auspices of President Mahamadou Issoufou, the strategic program in the Sahel, where the United Nations, the African Union, ECOWAS, and the G5 Sahel are involved. Our hope is that this exercise and the new methodology will become a prelude to true regional and international solidarity for systematic inclusion that is multidimensional, concrete, and robust, and meets the stabilization needs and the fight against terrorism, support for democracy in the region. As we prepare our collective efforts, African Union is ready to support by mobilizing all its specialized mechanisms. I have no doubt that your decisions will be a strong support to these actions. I thank you. We thank His Excellency Moussa Faki, President of the African Union Commission, for his statement. I now request His Excellency Mohamed Saleh Anadif, Special Representative of the UN Secretary General for West Africa and the Sahel, UNOWAS, to make his statement. Excellency, please make your statement from your seat. Your Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic of Ghana, current Chairman of the Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State, Excellencies, Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS Member States, Mr. Moussa Faki, President of the African Union Commission, Mr. Jean-Claude Cassibrou, President of the ECOWAS Commission, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor and pleasure to participate at this 61st ordinary session of the Authority of Heads of State and Government of ECOWAS. Allow me at this point to please extend to you the greetings of the UN Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, who wishes you successful deliberations. Since your last ordinary session held in September last year, 2 peaceful and participative elections have been held in the region. The local elections of January 23rd in Senegal and the legislative elections of 9th April in the Gambia. Another political development that was positive and is noteworthy is the political dialogue launched in Côte d'Ivoire, which is vital for national reconciliation and social cohesion in the long term. In Guinea-Bissau, the latest developments are to be welcomed. Following the military coup d'etat of January 24th in Burkina Faso, the political developments in the region remain the management of the political transition in Burkina Faso, Guinea, and Mali, which are as much challenges for our respective institutions. 5 extraordinary sessions since the beginning of this year have been held, and this is an additional demonstration of the interest that you have attached to this situation and your commitment to find sustainable solutions in the 3 member states. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on Burkina Faso, I continue to dialogue with the Burkinabe authorities, and I'm convinced that the 2 recent visits of President Mahamadou Issoufou, ECOWAS mediator, to Ouagadougou, and his consultations with the various national stakeholders will contribute to a sustainable solution on Guinea. I am just coming from a mission in Conakry where I held direct discussions with the transition authorities and the diplomatic community on ground. It emerges from my discussions that the Guinean authorities remain committed to continue to engage with the international community in general and with ECOWAS in particular. I've also noted a new positive dynamic by way of an inclusive dialogue with the Guinean actors. My partners have assured me that they are committed to continue to dialogue with ECOWAS. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the United Nations is concerned by the security situation in the sub-region, characterized by an increase in attacks by armed terrorist groups. Over the past 6 months, these attacks have not only increased in the Sahel and in the Lake Chad Basin, but also in coastal countries including Benin and Togo, where these terrorist attacks have demonstrated a persistent expansion of terrorism to coastal countries. I will go to the headquarters of the United Nations in New York tomorrow to present the reports of the United Nations Secretary General on Africa to members of the United Nations Security Council. I count on your support, in particular the joint multinational force in the fight against Boko Haram, as well as the Accra Initiative, which have continued in their joint cross-border operations. I also wish to remind the member states of the United Nations Security Council of the need to concretely support the acceleration of the implementation of the 2020-2024 action plan to eradicate terrorism in the ECOWAS region. In a difficult context in the sub-region, we are aware that beyond the military dimension, we must continue to strengthen non-military approaches, particularly by more closely working on targeting the causes of conflict. In line with this, we are supporting the various initiatives, including the regional strategy for stabilization, resilience, and rehabilitation of regions affected by Boko Haram in the Lake Chad Basin, and also the United Nations strategic action for the Sahel. Ladies and gentlemen, we continue to emphasize the need to respect human rights as well as to promote rule of law and actively involve women and youth, principles which the ECOWAS, African Union, and United Nations are closely in support of. The United Nations welcomes the ECOWAS initiative to review the Supplementary Act on Democracy and Good Governance of 2001. We are pleased with the ongoing consultations because we are firmly convinced that the final outcome of the ongoing deliberations will contribute to strengthening democracy and stability in the sub-region. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we wish to thank President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for his leadership during his tenure as chairman of the Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State and Government. I wish to also thank the President of the ECOWAS Commission, my brother Jean-Claude Cassibrou, and his entire team for the good working relations between ECOWAS and the United Nations in general, and UNOWAS in particular. I wish them success in their future endeavors. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, UNOWAS, which I have the honor of leading, is a major partner of ECOWAS and plans to remain so. At this solemn moment where we welcome a new ECOWAS team, I wish to seize this opportunity to reiterate the commitment of the United Nations, which is celebrating through the United Nations Office for West Africa and the Sahel, celebrating the 20th anniversary of its establishment, and will continue to pursue with determination its close collaboration with ECOWAS to together contribute to achieving the high and legitimate aspirations of the people of the sub-region for peace and for security. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Secretary General Antonio Guterres and in my behalf, I wish you productive discussions and thank you for your kind attention.
Nous remercions son Excellence,
We thank His Excellency,
représentant spécial du secrétaire général des Nations Unies pour l'Afrique de l'Ouest et le Sahel, UNOWAS,
for West Africa and the Sahel.
Ceremony of this 61st ordinary session of the ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State and Government. We will now proceed into a strict closed-door session. State security and protocol, please assist in clearing the hall from media.
that there's a significant volume of trade globally, but however, if you look at the statistics, the African continent, although making up a large proportion of the countries of the world, we trade usually 2% within all this. It shows that we're significantly underrepresented. And we know there are challenges to our trading. As I've mentioned, there are challenges on our infrastructure. How do we actually move goods that we produce from point A to point B? There are actually challenges in production. We know there are energy challenges. I know in all our countries, there's a lack of energy sufficiency. And there's also as well the human capacity, the skills that have to be developed. So it takes a whole comprehensive approach to increase trade. We'll have to look at all the sectors, from education, from infrastructure, and even the political will to be behind to put the resources in the right areas. But as we've said, it's not as if we're not doing anything. Our government, both national as well as the regional institutions such as ECOWAS, as well as the African Union, have embarked on a series of programs to try and promote, in particular, trade amongst ourselves, right. Which is the most important aspect, not just to trade with others, but how can we, between ourselves, also increase our trade. If we look at ECOWAS, for example, intra-regional trade is usually between 12 and 15%. That is relatively low, whereby we know in Europe, European Union is usually 70%, in Asia is over 60%. So we need to really do more to trade not only amongst with others in the global trading system, but also amongst ourselves. If we use ECOWAS as an example, and at the apex of ECOWAS are heads of states. So we as a commission act almost as a secretariat for our member states. Each member state has institutional structures. So in Ghana, you have Honorable Alan Shumate, the Honorable Minister for Trade and Industry. In other countries, you also have the Ministers of Trade and Industry. You have ministers responsible for infrastructure, you have ministers responsible for other sectors. So what we do is we support ministries in key areas to build the capacity. We have regular capacity building workshops, for example, for trade experts. To build the capacity to negotiate trade agreements, because of these agreements that determine how we trade with each other. So we hold capacity building workshops for trade experts. We also hold study tours, ways of sharing experience, and we'll use larger countries who are doing better to also share their experiences with the countries that are building up their capacity. So it's a joint effort whereby each member state plays its role, and ECOWAS coordinates and supports this process.
You said the trade activities in the region is very low. So is there challenges that are causing that?
So one of the largest challenges perhaps is as tariffs and duties go down, and in fact, any product that is made in West Africa should actually be able to transit freely within West Africa without customs or duties, and that's why we're a free trade area. But we also find there are blockages to the movement of goods. You'll find a number of obstacles, a number of barriers as you go from one country to another. So we need to work with our border agencies to make sure that they can process products that move across borders as quickly as possible. But we're also bearing in mind there are security challenges. So they still need to do their work, but how can we assist them to do the work in the best and most efficient manner whilst maintaining security? So all these are aspects you'll hear during this 5-day training workshop, and I really hope you'll engage, ask questions, really ask questions, because we want you to be the voice, the mouth of what we do as a regional organization, so we'll be counting on you for that.
Ghana is one of the countries that are respected in Africa. And I just hope that what I'm hearing is not correct. And if going by what we hear, it then means there is a depreciation in value. That means the Ghanaian people are depreciating in value. That means that the Ghanaian people are not holding their governments accountable. That means that the people will be tormented, because you cannot shave anybody's heads in his absence. There is no way Ghana will go to IMF without getting some fingers burnt. No country has done that and come out freely. I think that the first thing to do is to know whether the people of Ghana, the government of Ghana, has washed our eyes very clear and very clean and known that this is what is supposed to be done. That's one. Number two, there should be a national debate. And I'm not sure this has happened. It is impracticable in this 21st century for a government to take loans again. I mean, come on. Move in, take, and spend without the people signing? No. The signature of the people is important. Because if you are borrowing money for the people should give you, ultimately give you dates, particular mandate.
Guys, please, if you want to join the family, subscribe, like, and share. Guys, I'm currently here in Asini, and this place is called Kasana Village. I came here yesterday, and this is how it looks like. I'm sure you want to see how it looks like. Let's start from my room. Let's go. One thing about the place is each chalet is named by lots of cities in the world. I saw Accra. I'm sure you're going to see that. But yesterday we slept at Monrovia. Come, let's see how it looks like. So this is how the entrance looks like. They gave us a little flower here. So now that we've seen Monrovia, let me know in the comment section if you feel your city will be represented. Let's see what we have here. I can see that there's nobody here. Let's have a peep. Let's see how the room looks like. And this is how the room looks like. I think it's very closer to, it's very similar to my room. This is New York. New York representing. New York is very close to the pool. We have Paris, Abidjan. Of course, they have to represent their country. Hi, and this is how the room looks like. It's also empty. So it's a Monday here. That's why most of the places are quite empty. I only saw a couple earlier this morning, so I'm sure we're like the only guests. So there is also Cotonou, and of course this is Accra. Accra representing. I wonder why Accra is a small chalet. But this is how Accra looks like. guys. Let me know in the comment section if you've seen your city here at the Kasana village. Anyway, let me my earrings are from Lodell on Instagram. I'm going to tag you her page. If you want to get an African earring like this, you can contact her. So yeah. Oh, I also see Rabat, which is just behind me, and this is Addis Ababa. So yeah, so far those are the only cities here. If this place represented your city, let me know in the comment section. I think it's a good weather today. The place is beautiful. I feel pretty. Let's check the other places out. I really like the fact that the water is so clean. I can't wait to dip myself into the pool. You always know whenever I come somewhere and there is a pool, I won't hesitate. And it's very close to the sea. I can't wait for you all to see. So let's go to the kitchen area, the lounge, and then let's see what they have. So this is the lounge area. Almost everywhere has a hammock, which is very cute. This place is Instagram perfect for your lovely pictures. So yeah, this is how it looks from behind, and I'm very close to the ocean. The breeze here is something else. It really feels good. This is the restaurant, very close to the kitchen, and then while here at the restaurant, you can have a beautiful view of this place. So this is our setup for breakfast overlooking the ocean, and yeah, so far it's so beautiful. Thank you so much. So one thing about their bread is a little hard than the ones we find in Ghana, but their juice is exceptional. Since I came, all the juice I've been having is so good. I don't know what they add or what they do, but their fruit juices are all nice. So we've been creating TikTok content and Instagram content, and this is how we look. Hi Millie. Hello. Are you having a good time here?
Great time.
Great time. The place is really nice. We are even tired, it's almost 12 noon now. The sun is out. I'm feeling good. And how do you feel?
I'm tired. Too bad.
You're tired of enjoyment.
I'm having a good time, but I'm tired.
Yeah.
I need rest.
Yes. So far so good. I hope you're enjoying watching this video as much as I'm enjoying being here, as much as I'm enjoying showing you my experience. This place was quite expensive for us, but I think being here, it's becoming worth it. When we came, we were like complaining a little bit about the place. No Wi-Fi, especially last night, and so we had to deal with data, and the data tool was on and off. But then I think it's good so far. You sit. again. So guys, it's time to swim and the sun is out. This is how I look.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This is nice.
Let me know in the comment section if you like my costume. I'll tag you her Instagram page. Yeah, I'm feeling cute. I'm feeling cute. I'm feeling cute. And this is how my friend is looking. Sexy. Give me 360. Give me 360. 360, baby girl. So it's time for swimming. Woo! This is a perfect time. Woo! Water is so warm. I think this is the most beautiful part of this resort. The fact that you get to see blue, you get to see green, you get to see the skies. Oh, this is amazing. Our lunch just came in. We have fish, some vegetables, we have fried yam, and we have rice with an amazing view. After having a good time at the Kasana village, I had a minor injury and the only first aid was a mosquito spray, which they used.
Esther, what does that Sorry.
This brings us to the end of this vlog. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoy sharing my experience from the Kasana village located in Assini in Côte d'Ivoire. The place is very beautiful just as it looks, but didn't have Wi-Fi. The food was good, the people were good, everyone treated us very well, but the road to the resort is not the best at all. But we enjoyed our stay. Until next time, on my next video, I'm heading to Grand Bassam. I can't wait to share my experience in Grand Bassam. Until next time on my next video, I hope you enjoyed it. I love you all. Mwah. To the bus station, and the hotel pickup is taking us there, so we are so fortunate. This is how it looks from here. So we are like in the village of Assini. We are going to the bus station to pick a vehicle to Bassam, so let's go.
We know that there's a significant volume of trade globally, but however, if you look at the statistics, the African continent, although making up a large proportion of the countries of the world, we trade usually 2% within all this. It shows that we're significantly underrepresented. And we know there are challenges to our trading. As I've mentioned, there are challenges on our infrastructure. How do we actually move goods that we produce from point A to point B? There are actually challenges in production. We know there are energy challenges. I know in all our countries, there's a lack of energy sufficiency. And there's also as well the human capacity, the skills that have to be developed. So it takes a whole comprehensive approach to increase trade. We'll have to look at all the sectors, from education, from infrastructure, and even the political will to be behind to put the resources in the right areas. But as we've said, it's not as if we're not doing anything. Our government, both national as well as the regional institutions such as ECOWAS, as well as the African Union, have embarked on a series of programs to try and promote, in particular, trade amongst ourselves, right. Which is the most important aspect. Not just to trade with others, but how can we, between ourselves, also increase our trade. If we look at ECOWAS, for example, intra-regional trade is usually between 12 and 15%. That is relatively low, whereby we know in Europe, European Union is usually 70%, in Asia is over 60%. So we need to really do more to trade not only amongst with others in the global trading system, but also amongst ourselves. If we use ECOWAS as an example, and at the apex of ECOWAS are heads of states. So we as a commission act almost as a secretariat for our member states. Each member state has institutional structures. So in Ghana, you have Honorable Alan Shumate, the Honorable Minister for Trade and Industry. In other countries, you also have the Ministers of Trade and Industry. You have ministers responsible for infrastructure, you have ministers responsible for other sectors. So what we do is we support ministries in key areas to build the capacity. We have regular capacity building workshops, for example, for trade experts, to build their capacity to negotiate trade agreements, because of these agreements that determine how we trade with each other. So we hold capacity building workshops for trade experts. We also hold study tours, ways of sharing experience, and we'll use larger countries who are doing better to also share their experiences with the countries that are building up their capacity. So it's a joint effort whereby each member state plays its role, and ECOWAS coordinates and supports this process.
You said the trade activities in the region is very low. So is there challenges that are causing that?
So one of the largest challenges perhaps is as tariffs and duties go down, and in fact any product that is made in West Africa should actually be able to transit freely within West Africa without customs or duties, and that's why we're a free trade area. But we also find there are blockages to the movement of goods. You'll find a number of obstacles, a number of barriers as you go from one country to another. So we need to work with our border agencies to make sure that they can process products that move across borders as quickly as possible, but we're also bearing in mind there are security challenges. So they still need to do their work, but how can we assist them to do the work in the best and most efficient manner whilst maintaining security? So all these are aspects you'll hear during this 5-day training workshop, and I really hope you'll engage, ask questions, really ask questions, because we want you to be the voice, the mouth of what we do as a regional organization, so we'll be counting on you for that.
Ministry of Trade and Industry. Primarily, we are coming to launch a report on analysis of 2021 non-traditional export statistics program outline. Before we proceed to the substantive issue, my boss, the Honorable Minister for Information, will give a welcome address, which will include his initial remarks. Also, the Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry will do the launch, and then we will go through a presentation by the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. And of course, because this is a press briefing, we will come for your questions. Before I proceed to that, with your kind permission, I would like to introduce the dignitaries who have joined us this morning for this very important program. I would like to acknowledge directors from the Ministry of Information and also from the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. You are duly acknowledged. We also have in our midst government spokespersons from the Ministry of Information. Also, we have the Chief Executive Officer in charge of operations and finance at the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Mr. Samuel Dentu. Deputy Chief Executive Officer. We also have the Deputy CEO in charge of HR and Administration, Mr. Albert Dura. We have the Board Chair of GIPA, Mr. Yao Asuo Beni. We have DCOP Habiba Chumesi Sapong, representing the IGP and the Director General in charge of welfare of the Ghana Police Service. And of course, we have my big brother and the Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Honorable Herbert Krapper. We have the CEO of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Dr. Efua Asabia Asari, with us. And as I mentioned earlier, we have the Minister for Information and Member of Parliament for Ofuase Airebi constituency, Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah, with us. So I will invite the Honorable Minister for Information for his initial remarks.
Honorable Deputy Minister, thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to you. Oh, good morning to you. Good morning. Thank you for joining us here once again. I want to make a few remarks to contextualize what we're about to do here this morning. On a little aside, I was telling the team from Trade and GEPA that when I see what's happening in the foyer, I think they should be coming more regularly, because we would like to see them a lot more than we are doing now. In the week gone by, I think from Friday till now, there's been a lot of talk about Ghana's engagement with the International Monetary Fund. And you would realize that the thing that we've been talking about in terms of what we are asking them to support our program with is balance of payment support. I'm taking time to do this explanation because I'm praying you to help us get your audiences to also understand some of the big terms we've been using. We're asking the fund to help us with balance of payment support. Balance of payment is the end product of the balance of trade. It's the difference between what we export and what we import. When you bring it to nominal terms, how much we earn from what we export struck against how much we spend on what we import leads to balance of payment. And the reason for which, or part of the reason for which you have to have that conversation is because there are times when what you are exporting, because of whatever it is, a global crisis, a global economic situation, as compared to what you are importing, and the bills associated with it will leave you in a deficit position on the balance of payment front. It is good news that we are finding that gradually, though it's not where we want it to be, gradually our exports, particularly on the non-traditional export side, are doing better. Gradually. We're not where we want to be yet. And it is important to highlight it and use it as a basis to encourage a lot more non-traditional exports so that we will be able to do better on our total export picture, do better on our balance of trade, and therefore our balance of payment. Some of the questions you've been asking about the future are answered by how well we will continuously do in terms of exports, and even under exports, specifically non-traditional exports. So we want to pray you to contextualize the report that we are going to launch today. It's not just one of those reports that shows that something has happened, but it is even more important now because of the conversation we're having. Because in the end, if we're able to keep up on this trajectory and keep improving exports, and in particular non-traditional exports, then we will be in a position where no matter what is happening to the global economy, we will still have a dominant export position as compared to our import position. And you'll be in a position where you can hold your own without having to require a lot of help. You hear people say, but even in the countries where there is the key challenge, some of them have not had to resort to some of the requests we are making. You can check the data on how much help some of these countries have received already. Billions of cash coming to some of these economies that are even at war from all over the world. Therefore, they may not need to apply for help from somewhere under the same name that we are applying for, but they are getting billions from other parts of the world. And at the same time, some of these countries like Russia are still doing a lot of exports in the billions. And therefore, their economy may still be able to contain part of what is ongoing. You can check the data and help us educate the public a bit more. So beyond all that we are talking about, there's a broader economic conversation about how we improve our exports, and in particular our non-traditional exports. And I think it will help us if you find space to push this a lot more. Just wanted to set the context before we start our conversation. Honorable Deputy Minister, we are in your hands.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. You heard the Minister exporting both goods and services from our country to other parts of the continent and to the world at large is a big agenda of this government. And Ghana Export Promotion Authority has always led us well to make sure that, especially now that we have the Africa Continental Free Trade Area headquarters here in Ghana, we take advantage of it and showcase made in Ghana goods within the continent and also around the world. Without much ado, let me invite the Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Ifua Asabia Asari, to give us her opening remarks.
Good morning. The Honorable Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry, the Honorable Minister for Information who just left, and I'm thankful that he gave the few remarks on or situated what this whole program is about, situated it into context for us. The Deputy Minister for Information, my own sister, Board Chairman, and board members of Ghana Export Promotion Authority, management and members of staff from Ghana Export Promotion Authority, directors from the Ministry of Trade and Industry and the Ministry of Information, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning once again. And let me add my voice in welcoming you to this launch event, which is a brief ceremony but very significant on the calendar of our exporters. The year 2021 was widely heralded as the year of rebirth, and rightly so. This year has seen a resurgence in business and an optimistic return to normalcy. In terms of business, the year 2021 saw an uptick, with working amidst COVID protocols being part of the norm. As an institution with the primary mandate of facilitating the production and promoting made in Ghana products and services outside our boundaries, we come to terms with using technology primarily for several aspects of our operations where we hitherto heavily relied on in-person tactics. Business summit, trade shows, global seminars and exhibitions were all running virtually or in hybrid mode during the COVID times, and utilizing all available resources to promote export and strengthening exporters' capacities was what we had to do and do very well. Over time, with a reduction of restrictions and in-person events regaining prominence, we have perfected the art of incorporating a virtual perspective to all aspects of our operations. Interestingly, now we invite our exporters for in-person events, and when we do that, the next obvious statement from them is, please share the link for us to join online. This practice has so quickly become a matter of course, as it is, as if it was always part of us. Another learning we have perfected is the art of partnerships and collaboration, which has proven to be impactful, engaging, and rewarding for stakeholders involved. Without sounding like a broken record, ladies and gentlemen, our mandate at the Ghana Export Promotion Authority as an agency under the Ministry of Trade and Industry seeks to facilitate the production and promotion of value-added goods and services made in Ghana. Within the export value chain and trade fraternity, our mandates are quite interdependent, and our best outputs are the ones that have been supported by strong institutional collaborations. Our exporters are the final beneficiaries of the work we do, as their productivity impacts the export figures. So you can understand why we tend to get excited when we record a significant increase in non-traditional export earnings, that is, products and services with value addition. We are quick to remind ourselves, however, that the broad target of $25.3 billion by the year 2029 is still on the horizon, and therefore the performance of the previous year is only an indication of the level of momentum we need to gather to achieve our objective of making Ghana an industrialized economy. As an implementing agency of the National Export Development Strategy, you would realize that the program's GEPA runs have been aligned to either of the following three pillars of the strategy to enable us work towards achieving our aim of turning our fortunes around. Pillar 1 is increasing productivity of our exporters. 2, advocating for the enhancement of the business environment to encourage exporters to export more. And 3, building the competence of exporters to enable them compete favorably in international market. And I dare say that also building the competence and the capacity of the staff of Ghana Export Promotion Authority. However, like I mentioned earlier, we are unable to achieve this alone as an agency, not because we are unskilled, but because the success of the strategy relies on the collaborative effort of public-private sector partnership. There is so much to be achieved in destination markets, and the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, provides duty-free treatment to goods of designated sub-Saharan African countries. We have barely scratched the surface of this act, and in 2021, we exported to 152 countries, and the EU and the UK markets continue to top our export destinations, contributing 35.9% to total market value. The Asian market demand alone is overwhelming, not to mention the new AFCFTA market that beckons. Ladies and gentlemen, you would realize that there's a lot we can do to turn things around if we set our minds to being export-oriented and aligning our operations to the pillars of the National Export Development Strategy. Suffice it to say that we can accomplish so much more with a collaborative and intentional approach, and I'm happy to report that we do have a number of examples to show. However, let me keep the suspense and invite you to continue the conversations after the launch of the 2021 non-traditional export statistics. Thank you to the research team of Ghana Export Promotion Authority led by Mr. Maxwell Kusi, Director of Research, for putting this report together. And last but not the least, thank you all for coming. I thank you once again for your attention.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sabia, for the brilliant presentation. I'll now call the Honorable Deputy Minister in charge of Trade and Industry to give us his remarks and also perform the official launch.
Minister, thank you very much. Board Chairman and members of the Board of GEPA, CEO and members of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, colleagues from both Ministries of Trade and the Ministry of Information and all other agencies here, and of course our friends from the media. The Ministry of Trade and Industry is very happy to be associated with this launch, the launch of the 2021 non-traditional export statistics, for a host of reasons. This report first allows us to be able to analyze and evaluate the impact that the National Export Development Strategy is making on our overall export development agenda. As you know, the government has set out a vision to move our non-traditional export earnings from the current 2.8, 2.9 billion to about 25 billion in a matter of a decade. And that means that we have to constantly evaluate our performance periodically to assess where our strengths are and also align our resources and efforts in areas where we need to realign. And therefore, the launch of this report is of particular importance to the ministry for that reason. It also allows us to further mainstream the National Export Development Strategy and the export agenda into the overall global industrial transformation agenda that the ministry is currently pursuing. We cannot export if we are not producing. We cannot export if we are not adding value. And so all the other areas, the industrial revitalization program, the 1D1F, the domestic retail infrastructure, SME development, and all of those programs are crucial for the development of export itself. And the launch of this report gives us the opportunity to reevaluate how we further mainstream export development into the industrial transformation agenda. And then it's also important to us because it allows us to further deepen institutional collaboration. Ghana Export Promotion Authority and the Ministry of Trade and Industry alone cannot drive the vision that we have set for ourselves. We need other ministries, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Ministry of Information, Foreign Ministry, Ghana Standards Authority, Food and Drugs Authority, Customs, the banks, EXIM, all the other institutions that we need to work together with so that we can achieve the vision that we have set for ourselves. The launch of this report, we believe, allows us to come around the table again to assess the level of the participation and the collaboration between these agencies and how we further deepen that collaboration. Of course, the impact that the export earnings has on the performance of the economy is not lost on all of us at all. We know that the positive impact that it can have on our GDP, on the exchange rate, and of course on inflation as well. And therefore, that's another important reason why, and like the minister set it in motion, it's another important reason why the Ministry of Trade and Industry is happy with the launch of this report. Ghana today, in terms of preferential market size, we have about 2 billion market size, preferential market size. Of course, we've just heard about the Asian market as well, huge market. When you talk about the AFCFTA, we're talking about a market size of about 1.2 billion people. The interim economic partnership agreement with the EU gives us a market size of about 450 million people. the African Growth Opportunity Act, AGOA, gives us a market size of about 320 million people in the U.S. market. Of course, we just ratified the interim trade partnership agreement with the UK, which gives us something like 65 million market size with the UK. And therefore, all put together, you're looking at a market size more than 2 billion people, plus the Asian market and the non-preferential market. Our responsibility is simple: how we're able to empower the private sector in terms of market intelligence, in terms of the right and suitable competitive operating environment, and of course, in terms of enhancing their productive capacity to be able to take advantage of these markets. That, we believe, is our responsibility, and that's what the Ministry of Trade and Industry continues to support GEPA with, to be able to deliver. The 2021 statistics give me hope and give the ministry hope that we're on course. Our year-on-year earnings from 2018 have shown a positive trajectory. 2018, year-on-year 2019, we saw a growth of about 10% on non-traditional export earnings. 2019, 2020, year-on-year 3%. 2020, we saw a decline. For obvious reasons, we dipped by a negative 1.84%. Today, we find that 2021 year-on-year, we've increased our non-traditional export earnings by 17%. That means we have moved it from 2.84 billion to 3.33 billion United States dollars. That is significant. This outstanding performance in the export sector is something that we must all be proud of as a government. And I congratulate the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, the Chief Executive, the board, and the executive body and all the members of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority for working very hard, together with all the other agencies that support you, for working very hard to produce this very astounding increase in our non-traditional export earnings. But it must cause us to, do more, especially for the Ghana Export Promotion Authority. It means that you have a responsibility to work double time, so that when we meet again next year, we are seeing a quadruple jump in the figures that we have recorded today. It must also cause us, inspire us to continue to work hard for the private sector, because at the end of the day, they are the ones that we're looking to empower to be able to export and increase the volumes of exports that we have seen. So we are very proud of GEPA. We're very happy as a ministry to announce this 17% jump in non-traditional export earnings, and we'll continue to provide the support that we give you to increase the numbers significantly by 2020, when 2022 year-on-year export earnings figures come out. So on behalf of my minister, the entire ministry, it is my singular honor to declare the 2021 non-traditional export statistics duly launched. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Deputy Minister. If anything rang a bell in course of your address, it was the fact that there is no clearer path to self-sufficiency and also earning foreign exchange than industrialization. So I would like to thank your ministry for the leadership and the good work done, and to thank GIPA for leading us in showcasing made in Ghana goods and services outside the shores of our country. I would like to acknowledge the presence of the CEO of Shippers Authority, Ms. Benonita Bismarck. If you are here, give us a wave. Thank you for joining us. Now, I will yield the podium to Dr. Asabia to take us through the highlights of the 2021 non-traditional export performance.
Thank you once again. We have talked about what we have achieved. We have launched the statistics, but we need to understand what went into achieving what we did. And I'm here to put you through the statistics and the analysis of the statistics and how we got to where we are. And this is a very important part of the presentation of the program, because after going through all that we've gone through, the talks and whatever, you would ask, and so what? What are you supposed to make of these figures that we are mentioning? We've done well by achieving a 17% increase in our export earnings, and so what? But the presentation I'm going to do, the analysis, will show you why we got there and how we can even work harder and how we can encourage our exporters and our business people in the private sector, the farmers especially, to do what they do and do it even well, and how we can go about doing that to help them achieve and help us achieve even more than we have done in 2021. So we will be going through what GEPE's mandate and current areas of focus are, programs and projects summary, our 2021 non-traditional export performance summary, the chocolates and cocoa derivatives industry, and you would understand why we are very particular about this sector, the services export, which is quite new, but which is quite new, but which is a sector that we are pushing so hard, and the National Export Development Strategies priority value chains. Thank you. Ghana Export Promotion Authority is a national trade promotion organization under the Ministry of Trade and Industry. And our mandate is to promote and push value-added products and services onto the international market, as we always say. And what we do is to provide product development and supply, based expansion of export products. Another service that we provide is to market development and promotion of made in Ghana products and services on the export market, provide current market information to the exporter community, and then build the capacity of the Ghanaian exporters, including anybody who is interested in exporting, not leaving out the youth and especially women. We also provide consensus building, development of national export awareness. What you see in that circle, this, I think it looks very small, but we have that in the handouts that we brought with us, so you find them in there when we distribute the national, the copies of the NTEs. So just bear with us. These are just products that we work with. Some of the products we work with, the fruits and vegetables, cashew, processed cocoa, shea, fish and aqua culture, roots and tubers, palm oil, jewelry, apparels and textile services, and crafts, as well as fruits and vegetables. We have cashew nuts as well. These were what traditionally we were working with. But when I get to where I will talk about the National Export Development Strategy, you will realize that we have added even more. And so when you see 11 here, eventually you'll be seeing 17 because we have the 17 priority areas, which is part of the National Export Development Strategy. There are programs and projects that we execute at Ghana Export Promotion Authority that supports the industry, that supports the sector and our exporters to achieve what we do achieve annually. And some of the programs I'm going to talk about include the Youth in Export program. This is a program where we attach young people, both male and female, to exporters to learn the trade along the whole value chain, so that at the end of a year, they can decide which value chain they are interested in working in, and along the value chain where they want to situate their business. We help them with tools, we help them with a little stipend to stay on the business for a year, to learn from the experts. And we do this in collaboration with the youth agency. So this is a very, very good program. We started with a pilot of 20 young people, and they all successfully passed out, and some of them have continued to do their own business in this sector. And so we have just published, and I think we published not so long ago, to continue with this program, and we have about 100 young people now going to be a part of the second phase of this program, which will also look at the youth in textiles and youth in art and crafts. The first one was youth in agric. We also have our export school. This is where we prepare exporters and potential exporters to be export ready. To be export ready is not just having a product that you think is going to do well on the market. You have to understand the nitty-gritties of getting your products ready, to understand certification standards, the market, how to access the market, what market needs what. And to do all of these, it will be very, very good for a potential exporter to come through the Ghana Export School. It is not only for potential exporters, it is for people who think that at one time in their business life or their entrepreneurship life, they may want to go onto the international market. Or even if you have a product that you want to develop, we can help you at the export school to develop that product to the level where it will not only be suitable for us in Ghana, but for the world. And so we have the export school, which is available in all the regions. Then we have our National Export Development Strategy. The National Export Development Strategy was put together by about 100 organizations in this country. So it is not a GEPA document. It is a national document that was put together by about 100 organizations in the export trade ecosystem, and it belongs to all of these organizations and more. So we are collaborating with all the agencies that took part in putting this document together, and we are implementing this document with the agencies. It's not going to be one of those documents that sits and gathers dust. And that is why it is not a GEPA document, but a national document that involves both the private sector and the public sector. We have the Market Hub at as our website. That's what we call the Market Hub, where we have information on all that you need to know about export and the happenings in GEPA and the happenings on the international market. And we have the GEPA Impact Hub. This is a physical place that we have made conducive for exporters to be able to access information. We have libraries, we have e-libraries, physical libraries. We have a space that you can have your meetings that we don't charge for. So you can just walk in as an exporter, or let us know if you want to have a meeting with us, or a meeting with your potential clients. And we do this because we know that most SMEs, which form the largest part of our clientele, do not have offices of their own. And to make things very easy for them, we created this conducive atmosphere for them to use. So you can come there and have meetings with your potential clients, or have meetings with us, or have us sit down with you to talk about a product that you want to put on the market or develop. And everything will be sorted out for you when you come there, because we even have the Ghana Standards Authority desk in this Impact Hub. We have the Food and Drugs Authority desk, and we have the PPRSD of the Ministry of Agri sitting with us to help us. And my sister from the Ghana Shippers Authority has indicated that she also wants to be part of the Impact Hub. So this is the place to be, and it is replicated in all the regions. Aside that, if you are in the districts, then you have to take advantage of this through the business resource centers that are in about 37 districts now, and we keep adding on. So we want to reach every corner of Ghana so that we can unearth and develop the products that are worthy of export. Then we have the market access programs that we have, and we have these market access programs in our Impact Hub. Almost every month we are conducting seminars, programs, having conversations with the banks, with the insurance companies, with the embassies to support us in how to access markets in various countries. We are talking with the banks, we are talking with packaging organizations, branding. I mean, every month something is happening in our Impact Hubs, all in the by way of preparing our potential exporters and even those who are already in the business to put their best foot forward. We also have a pineapple revitalization program. This is where we have been supporting people in the agri sector, especially the pineapple growers, the coconut growers, and the cashew growers, including vegetable growers as well, with good seedlings, disease-free seedlings, so that they can produce more. We have done interventions in all of these areas that I have mentioned and continue to do so. In the art and craft sector, we've also done great interventions in this sector. We have built the Abompe Beads village, craft village in Abompe in the eastern region, where we supported the making of bauxite beads and ornaments with machines instead of the primitive way that it used to be done. We are preserving some aspects of the way it used to be done just for posterity and for history, and we hope that we will be working very soon, as we are talking with UNESCO, to make this a UNESCO site as well. But we have sent them machines that helps in producing most of the artifacts and the beads and all the products that they do to meet international standards and to make it even easy on them so that they can also produce more. So these are some of the interventions that we have been intervening in. Interventions that we are intervening in. So the non-traditional export performance summary, as you've been told, has moved from 2.8 in 2020 to 3.3 in 2021. And these are, this figure you see is due to the interventions that we undertook. So the non-traditional export revenue has grown by about 17%. And this is due to the fact that our exporters worked very hard. Of course, the government supported, but they took the government support very seriously. And I want to say a big thank you to our exporters, and not just the exporters, the manufacturers, the farmers especially, who are producing the raw material base for most of the products and that we put out there. I want to say a big thank you to them, and I want us to clap for them for the work that they have done. As government and as Ghana Export Promotion Authority, we are just facilitators, and we give them a little support for what they do best. If you look at the NTE as compared to national exports, this is how it looks like in 2013. You see that we did 2.4 billion, as the national export was 13 billion. So you can see for yourself the table out there. So in 2021, I don't want to take so much of your time, but in 2021, as we did 3.3 billion, the national export, overall export for Ghana was 14.72 billion. So you can see that non-traditional export or value addition export forms quite a huge chunk of the overall exports, and we need to pay particular attention to this phenomenon. Our top 10 performing products are cocoa paste. Cocoa continues to be one of our top 10 performing products, but it is not just the raw cocoa. This is cocoa with value addition, and that is why we would be very excited if more cocoa is released to industrialists and manufacturers to produce more of the cocoa paste and cocoa butter and the chocolates and whatnot, every derivative of cocoa, because this is where we are making the most money in non-traditional exports. Cocoa butter, cashew nuts continues to perform better, and even though it's doing well, we still need to process cashew. Most of the bulk of our cashew is going out of this country unprocessed, and we need to add value to it to make more money out of our cashew. And then the articles of plastics, canned tuna, iron, steel, circles, rods, sheets, all form part of our top 10 products. Refined palm oil, that is from palm oil, palm nuts, is doing very well. Natural rubber sheets, the cocoa powder, and then the shea butter or the shea oil, or what they call the karate. So these are our 10 top performing products. And let's look at the sectors that made the most contribution to the NTE of 2021. The manufacturing sector, that is processed and semi-processed goods, especially the cocoa derivatives, contributed $2.8 billion. And then agribusiness, mostly made up of vegetables and fruits and cashew, and all of them made up of the agriculture products, got us $467 million. And then industrial art and crafts, which is slowly rising, got us $45.2 million. And textiles and garments is still contributing under 2% of Ghana's non-traditional export, despite the huge number of youth and women it employs, and it can even employ more if we make it a conscious effort to grow this particular sector. This is a very, very important sector that can engender jobs for our youth, and especially women. And so we are paying particular attention to this sector, and the ministry is working around the clock to see how it can expand this particular sector. Destination markets of our non-traditional exports are the European Union, the ECOWAS, and then other countries and other African countries. You know, we don't export amongst ourselves very well in Africa, and hence the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. So we are working to leverage on AFTA to improve significantly our exports to other African countries through the strategy of setting Ghana export trade houses all over Africa and the rest of the world. And this we are almost achieving, because very soon we will come back here and announce to you 2 or 3 export trade houses that we are planting around the world, especially in Africa. We are also paying significant attention to other developed countries like the US, Canada, Australia, Japan, and other countries like China, Mexico, and Brazil. When we talk about the AFCFTA, some people are thinking that, okay, so then we are not going to be working with other countries again. That is, I have asked severally, are you therefore not pursuing exports to other countries around the world? No, we are continuing with what we used to do by exporting to other countries, but we are intensifying the work that we are doing on the continent. The cocoa derivatives sector, as said earlier, is the largest contributor to the NTEs, and the graph shows that cocoa butter and fat and oil and cocoa paste, and cocoa paste and chocolate and other food preparations are the largest contributor to the NTE. So we would wish that we will get a lot more cocoa to our manufacturers so that they can add value to it. We have the services sector. It's not a very new addition to this sector, but it wasn't until recently that we have put in more effort in this sector. And so we are looking at selling services. Some countries depend solely on services, and this even fetches them more money than products. We are lucky to have a lot of products that we are even spoiled for choice, and we have settled for 17 priority products. But we also have the services area that we can make some money out of. So we have been looking at the services sector comprising of higher education, ICT and IT-enabled services, the medical service, and the professional services. So far, we have visited Nigeria. We have done a lot of trade missions to Nigeria to talk to schools, to talk to young people, and we have managed to in 2021 to bring in about 6,860 students from Nigeria to make use of our very good universities in Ghana. We are talking to other universities in the sub-region. We've done this virtually, and we are still doing this to make sure that we sell our services in higher education to our neighboring countries, especially neighboring countries in West Africa. ICT and IT-enabled services, we have collaborated with the Accra Digital Center. We've organized a virtual and in-person IT fair in Accra, which attracted participants from across the world. And the cluster of IT companies at the ADC was mobilized to participate in online trade summits with countries such as Botswana and South Africa. So more than 40 IT firms participated in the fair and engaged in partnerships for growth. So this is also something that we are very keen on. We are working closely with the Ministry of Communication on this. Our medical services, during the year under review, the authority undertook an extensive mapping of 32 quality medical centers in the country in the bid to promote these medical centers in the sub-region. And also, we are not leaving out professional services like our carpenters, our electricians, our lawyers, architects. These are all services that when harnessed and channeled properly, we could sell on the continent. And we are working with the associations to do this. So these are the 17 priority areas of the National Export Development Strategy, and you can see the addition to the 11 we have pharmaceuticals, we have the aluminium products, we have textiles, we have automobiles and vehicles which have been added. And you know that there are a couple of automobile companies that have, pitched their tent in Ghana. they are not doing this for the 30 million people of Ghana, but they are doing so because of the advantage they want to take of the other surrounding countries in the sub-region, because Ghana is a very stable country, and they think that this is where they can pitch their tents in order to reach other countries in the sub-region. And that is why we have all of them coming here. It's because of the stability of this country and the ease of doing business of this country that is making it attractive for all of these people to come. And so it has become a very important aspect of our national export development strategy priority products that we need to push as they pitch their tents here and produce what they produce. We need to support them to sell their products in the subsector. And so this brings me to the end of the analysis of the non-traditional export, the value addition statistics that was just launched by the minister. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you for the insightful presentation, Dr. Asabia Asari. That was so beautiful. And one thing I will say to young entrepreneurs is that on your checklist, make sure you visit the Impact Hub at GEPA, if not for anything. Go there, find out what they have. See if you can meet some standards. If you get some advice, you never know, you may become a unicorn in the near future. So please, take advantage of all the things that Dr. Asabia Asari has mentioned. We now come to a very important exercise. We have media men and women with us. We will take this opportunity to open the floor for them to ask questions. Please, if you have any question or submission, kindly raise your hand. They will bring the microphone to you. You mention your name and your media house and proceed to ask your question. Please, if you have any question, this is the best time to ask. If you don't, it means this press briefing went very well. We understood everything. Yes, please. Okay, so I'll take the first question from... Okay, please, do we have any hands up? Okay, I can see only one. Okay, we'll take the second question from the gentleman standing at the back. Anyone? I take that to be the only two questions we have. Okay. So please, okay, we'll take a third question from here. So your name, media house, and proceed to ask your question. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. I'm glad of this report, and more importantly, the inclusion of the export services is key for us. So my question is, now that we've seen growth in the end schemes, the question that I'm asking is that given that here there are continuous supply chain disruptions, and then also we have the Ukraine, the Russia war ongoing. And also that we are heading towards global recession. How are we positioning ourselves such that the impact of these crises do not dwarf the growth that we've made in this period? Yeah, so that's my question.
Okay. So if I understood your question, you want us to mention, you want the CEO to mention a pathway in view of the supply chain disruption occasioned by the pandemic and also the Russia-Ukraine war. Okay, thank you for the question. So we'll take the second question from...
Good morning. My name is Francis Into. I write for the Ghana News Agency.
Okay.
We have a $25.3 billion target to achieve in 7 years.
We are making about 3.3 now. How are you going to achieve the 20 billion deficits? What specific target year on year is GEPA giving it to itself? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for the question, Francis. Please, we had a third hand.
Good morning. My name is Michael Mauli from Cocoa Board. We are happy to know that cocoa derivatives top the charts for non-traditional export products. And we, as the regulator of the cocoa sector, would like to know what specific roles we can play to continue boosting the exports.
Okay. Thank you for the question. I take that to be the last question, unless anyone has a question. If not, we'll go to Dr. Sabia for her responses and her concluding remarks. Okay.
Okay, to the first question about the supply chain disruptions and how we think that we can achieve what we have set out to achieve. That's why we are working in collaboration with all the other agencies and with the private sector. Not only that, we are working with international bodies, and we just don't go out selling our products on any market. We do study the markets to see where our products are needed. And although the world is going into recession, food is always very important, and that's what we do best here. We are lucky that we have an agriculture, our country is an agrarian one, and so we produce food all around. We are lucky to have what we have by way of the seasons, and what we have to do is to be very conscious about what we do from now onwards, knowing that this is what is happening to the world. We need to be very conscious of that, and we need to be conscious about what we do, and that is why we also have priorities. The priorities were not just put together anyhow. They were put together in the context of what is happening in the world and where the market is needed for what products that we have made a part of the priorities. So we have, we keep cognizance of all of what is happening in this world as part of the strategy that we put together to market our products and services on the international market. The second question, how do we achieve the 20.5 billion in the next 7 years? Am I right? That's the question. Yes, if we are very focused on what we are doing, and we work with the National Export Development Strategy, inshallah, if nothing bad happens, we should be able to achieve this. Although the beginning is a little wobbly, we think that we will pick up the momentum if we are focused on what we have said we will do. If we are intentional about everything that we have put down in that document, which wasn't put together by GEPA, but virtually by the whole country, then we should be serious about what we have put together, and we should get the targets if we are intentional and support the industrialization agenda of this government. It means it shouldn't be difficult for us to get our 25.3 billion in 2029. The last question, I didn't completely. What Cocoa Board should do? Yes. Cocoa Board has been a very good collaborator, and we are still in talks with Cocoa Board as to how they can release more cocoa beans for our manufacturers to be able to add more value to the cocoa beans that we have, so that we can get more. We are talking to Cocoa Board. They have supported us in many of the interventions that we have done. They have traveled with us to showcase cocoa derivatives, and I think that they are a very good collaborator. And so I believe that with the statistics that they are seeing, they are even going to help us more. Thank you. Closing remarks. We have closed. I want to thank you very much for making time to hear us, to go through the NTE statistics for 2021 with us, and the media. You are so important to us. Not that because you are here, I'm saying that, I'm part of the media as well. I've worked as a media person as well. I know how well you can, put this whole thing together and even explain to all the people that we can reach, because you reach more people than we do. I am so grateful that you came, and I know that you can even take our story further than we can. I also want to thank the ministers, the 3 ministers who have supported us in this whole program, the 2 deputy ministers, the deputy minister for Trade and Industry, the deputy minister for Information, and the minister himself, Honorable Kwejo Opon Kroma. I want to thank all of you from the various agencies, and we work in collaboration with all these agencies. We work in collaboration. We couldn't have done this by ourselves. It's because we've been working with Exim Bank of Ghana. We've worked with GIPC, Ghana Investment Promotion Center. We want to say thank you to the Ghana Free Zones Authority, the Ghana Shippers Authority, Ghana Standards Authority, the Food and Drugs Authority, and all the agencies that who have been collaborating very well with us. Let's keep this relationship strong, and I know that hopefully by the end of 2029, we would have achieved what we have set out to achieve. Thank you very much, all of you, for coming.
Honorable Deputy Minister, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of today's press briefing. Thanks for joining us. Good afternoon.
After several assurances that the IMF was not an option, President Akufo-Addo has ordered the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, to formally engage the IMF on a possible financial assistance. This will mean that in the next few months, Ghana will be engaging the IMF for financial bailout. Today we ask Ghanaians, is this the Ghana beyond aid they envisioned? Is the IMF going to be the solution to Ghana's economic problems? Do you think that the time that Ghana decided to go to the IMF is the right time, or we've waited for too long?
I think it's the right time. It's the right time, because looking at the e-levy being failing as this thing, the e-levy that has failed, because when you actually implement this thing, what's the past tax law, you are not going to actually have this thing at the short run. It's a long run something. So the revenue they projected to have, they didn't get it. So that is why they went to the IMF. So I believe it is actually the right time, considering the budget deficits, balancing of BOP and other things. So I think that's the right time for us to go to the IMF.
Okay, and so do you think that the IMF will help us to solve our problems? Because a lot of people have said that it really may not be the solution that we need?
Well, the finance minister said there will be dire consequences on going to the IMF. So the IMF doesn't help every country. When you look at the list of the country that have gone to the IMF, Ghana, this is our 17th time engaging with the IMF. They haven't helped us. But the IMF doesn't help you. You actually send your policy to them for them to help you balance your payments. Do you get it? So it is not as if they are going to help us, but they are going to help us at the interim. So at the long run, we have to come together as a nation by engaging in partisan ways, but bringing all stakeholders on board, and we should just eschew our our pride, and come together with stakeholders in order to just implement our policy.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you about an IMF program helping the country?
7. And the 7, with the 7, me saying 7 is that we've been there about 16 times and yet there were no results. So what's the assurance that when we go this time, something will be done about it? And with the IMF too, when you go, they tend to dictate policies to you. You understand? You being given that particular money, you are being given it based on what they tell you to do. So there are instances that we might even observe that some programs they used to do initially will be cancelled. For instance, free SHS can be cancelled since it's not having a better background in its foundation.
Right. So do you think that going now, we should have gone earlier when we realized that we were having issues? We should have just gone to the IMF instead of waiting till we've been bitten so hard in the back.
Well, I won't say that it's been too late. It's better late than never. So it's a right time to do. But I think the government, one thing they failed to do is admitting the fact. If the thing is black, just say it's black rather than beat about the bush and be complaining here and there that this is the factor, this is the factor. We could have gone long time and yet still we could have gotten the results we are looking for or not.
If you go to IMF at this particular point in time, you are going to be restricted. The IMF is not Father Christmas that they are going to give you something that they won't give you restrictions. Government is trying to assure us that we are not going to have serious hardships like previous IMF during 2015 to 2018. But I don't believe that. If you look at our educational sector, let me use our education because I'm a student. Last year or beginning of this year, UTAG was on strike, that they are demanding for certain things and they expect that government to fulfill its promises by December. And now that we don't have enough money in our cafes to ensure other projects are ongoing, now government will have to find ways to pay for projects that will bring revenue. IMF will not allow government to maybe spend huge sums of money to pay arrears. UTAG TEU is threatening that they want to go on strike if government is not able to pay their 20% condition of service and allowances. Government will have to find ways and means to feed or provide such amount of money to them. I'm not sure IMF is going to allow government to do that.
The idea of going to the IMF is a terrible one for me, and it's very heartbreaking because when previous governments have gone to the IMF and they are in their campaign, you hear them bombarding them, saying bad things about them, and then you turn around and do this very same thing. Why would you go to the IMF? First, we hear that, well, we are starting the e-levy. The e-levy is going to help generate funds for the economy and blah, blah, blah. A lot of things to say. Then we turn around and we see that the same government is still going to the IMF, and that is something that I still don't understand. I feel like the government has deceived us as a people, because you can't tell us that we won't go to the IMF if you pay e-levy. We pay e-levy, then you are at the IMF. I feel like this entire going to the IMF is going to bring a lot of disruptions to the lives of many Ghanaians, because right now people have the notion, I think you've heard of the American dream, what they want to do. What is the Ghanaian dream? The Ghanaian dream, if you ask everyone at the moment, is, well, let me just go to a university. If I get an opportunity, I get a scholarship, I'm out of the country, I'm not coming back. Right now, as I'm standing here, if you give me a passport to leave Ghana, I'll leave, because one thing that comes along with IMF is their conditionalities, and it is not favorable at all. Anytime you go for funds from them and they bring about their conditions, it's not favorable.
While some people believe that the IMF may not be the solution that Ghana needs, some also have the opinion that it's the only option that the country has at this point. My name is Stella Sogli Jejom, reporting for GhanaWeb TV.
One of the things when you Google what to see in Cote d'Ivoire is this. Guys, this video is in partnership with Lemonade Finance. Lemonade Finance is an app that allows Africans in Canada and the UK to send money to Ghana, Nigeria, and Kenya at zero fees. They also have the best rates in the market, so you get complete value for your money. You can download the app with my referral link in my description box and get 10% cash back on your first transaction. You can also type in my code STELLA if you've downloaded the app directly from the App Store. It's available on the Apple Store and the Play Store. Hi guys, we are back again. Charlie, I hope you're doing amazing. While watching this vlog, do well to subscribe, like and share. We are currently on our way to Yamoussoukro from Abidjan to see the biggest church in Africa, which is called Basilica of Our Lady of Peace of Yamoussoukro. This trip is a day trip and it's about 3 hours drive from Abidjan. So we are finally here at the bus station, which is called Yebougon. That's the Uber that came here with us. It cost us 5,400 to get here from our Airbnb. Now we are going to pick a bus to Yamoussoukro, where we are going to see the biggest church. And so yeah, this is our Uber driver. Yeah. Salut. So yeah, we're going to pick the bus and then and he's been so helpful. So we got a ticket. He says we have to wait for like an hour before we can join the bus. We are the first passengers. This is how the bus looks like. It's quite comfortable. We arrived at the last stop in Yamoussoukro and we picked a loading taxi which cost us 500 CFA each. We paid 2,000 CFA each, but locals pay 1,000 CFA, which includes a tour guide.
This basilica here is firstly a church before being a tourist attraction, a resort. For that, every day at 7 o'clock in the morning, people are there to pray. Every Saturday at 11:30, they are there to pray. Every Sunday at 10:30, the big mass. And when people are there to pray, they don't need to pay. For visitors pay because they participate in the maintenance of this area. Okay. That is not an obligation that the precision of the guide depend for you. Okay. We continue, please. All right. Okay. Now, you see inside there, we have 60 pillars of two types. Okay. There are the small one there, which are the Doric one, and those biggest, which are the Ionic one. Okay. This one, which are the Doric one, are 48. Okay. The number 48 is a 4 and 8. 4 plus 8 are 12, like the 12 apostles of the Bible. This one is from Mother Mary, Our Lady of Peace. Yeah. This basilica is dedicated to her. Yeah. Because the name of this church is Our Lady of Peace of Yamoussoukro. Things that are down to here, 38 meters, just to appreciate the inside of the church. Inside of this church, no light. No light. We have only the chandelier just to light the altar. Which one? Which chandelier? The chandelier in the middle. Ah, that one? Yeah. But when it is night and people have some big ceremonies inside, they put on all those bulbs around. Those bulbs around. All of them are 456. Wow. Each one 1,000 watt. They put them up and the inside is light by reflection. Wow. You get me? When I'm here and I talk, no more echo. Because we have, they call it the acoustic. The sound system at the three part. At the ons, we have the carpet down and the red part on the seat. they absorb the sound.
The sound, okay.
That here behind us, we see some small square there and small crosses on the board. They're also coming out to evoke the echo.
Okay.
After the glasses down, explain the Bible story. The glasses around there represent the 12 apostles of the Bible. And the blue part of the dome represents the sky.
Okay.
The dove up is the symbol of Holy Spirit.
Okay.
That the Holy Spirit translates the message to the apostles. The apostles send this message to people into the Bible.
Oh, right.
That we have to read the Bible, to have the information the Holy Spirit
It's trying
send
to
to
tell
the
us.
apostles like the Pentecost Day.
Oh.
This is how they plan to build everything.
Oh, right.
Okay, we go outside to continue us in the church.
Okay.
Technician pass there where we see the doors to go inside of the blue part. They go up for maintenance.
Wow.
But from here to the blue part, there are some stairs.
So guys, the place is really, really huge and you can't take videos downstairs. That's why I've been giving you this is audio and pictures or videos of the place. But from here, you can shoot. The place is not big, it's super, super huge. Wow. Just look at this. Look at how big the chandelier is. Oh my God.
You see?
So big. So we are currently outside the church and this is how it looks like from here. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Oh,
They are in the
nice.
4 Gospels.
Yeah. And this is the view from here.
The main entrance is there. The main entrance. That from the main gate to where we enter, we have about 1 kilometer of marble.
Wow.
At this area, this place, before building this church, this basilica, the place was the coconut plantation of the late President Felix Houphouët-Boigny and his family.
Okay.
That because of the faith he had for God and the peace in his country during his time, he decided to build a church, a basilica, just to make an offering to God. For that, him and his family make a gift of the land, 150 hectares.
150 acres.
Hectares.
Wow.
The fence of the church is 130 hectares. That the part they use is only 72. This part we call it the esplanade. It have an opening hand like that, just to say welcome to us in the church. This place around have become of a cross. Saying that this basilica is the highest in the world.
Okay.
Because the one for Vatican is the 136, this one 158. 22 meters the difference between this one to Vatican one.
Okay.
That this one is also wider. That the Vatican one can accommodate more people because it closed by pillars. For that, they say that Vatican one is the biggest and this one the tallest. That normally this one is the biggest in the world. The two biggest. At the left, Vatican one, at the right, this one. 22 meters the difference between this one to Vatican one.
Yeah.
That around this one is less than of Paris, where they buried Napoleon.
Wow. Then this is really so this is a military zone, so no drones are allowed, so I can't fly a drone here, but I hope all the things you have seen here gives a representation of exactly how it is here. This place is very, very huge. Millie, what do you think about this place since I came with you?
I don't know. I feel like I'm in a piece of heaven.
So she says she's in
stories
heaven.
are so deep.
Yeah, and
The
especially
stories are so
because
deep.
we learned that growing up in the Bible. So it's beautiful. Yeah. Like the story of the first miracle of Jesus.
Jesus turning wine, water into wine,
yes,
and all. So they have those drawings on all
the 12
all
pillars.
around the church.
Yeah,
all around the church. The Bible stories, baptism of Jesus.
Yeah,
and
you
all
know
of
your
those
Bible
things.
so well.
Yeah, of course. The first sin, Adam and Eve eating the apple and the snake, and then up to this is the baptism of Jesus, like the Savior, and all of that. I think this place should be fine.
So yeah. This has been so beautiful. We're about to take some pictures, show you a small tour about this place, and then this is going to end the trip. This tour has been so insightful. The place is too big. I've been walking from the entrance right down to the walkway. It's about 3 minutes walk, and I've been walking. This place is really huge. Just look at this. This is so beautiful. Anytime you are here in Côte d'Ivoire, I would encourage you to visit this place. This is one of the places that you must see when you are in Côte d'Ivoire. So this is Côte d'Ivoire. So guys, this brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed being here, as much as I enjoyed my first tour here at this big, huge church, which is one popular place to see when you come to the Côte d'Ivoire. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed being here. I came here with Millie. Millie, say hi! Until next time on my next video right here in Côte d'Ivoire. Catch you guys. I love you all so much. Mwah. The taxi guy's number, and he's taking us to the crocodile place, which is very close. C'est bon.
C'est bien.
Looks like Millie has been learning so fast with the French. Yeah, so we are going to see the crocodiles, and you guys are coming along. Okay, ma'am. Yes. Yes. You know crocodile? Oui.
Crocodile.
Yeah, crocodile. So guys, if you want to send money to anyone in Ghana, your family, your loved ones, your mom, your parents, everyone, I can guarantee that sending money through Lemonade Finance is completely free. Don't forget to use my referral code Stella for 10% cash back on all transactions on the Lemonade app. So this is their crocodile pond. I don't know if you guys can see. This is one. Look at his head is out. This is how it looks like from here.